because I'm deaf.
I'll need to hear this.
Well, test, 1, 2. How you doing? I mean, I normally get very excited and very loud. I mean, this is me. I'm not even like projecting. I'm just as like my normal.
ABC 123 1098.
Opinions expressed are those of the show hosts, not WSTU or Little Dog Media Group, LLC. Any reproduction or reuse of this program without the written consent of WSTU or Little Dog Media Group, LLC is strictly prohibited. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA SIPC. Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, and Artache Financial Group are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Live from the heart of the Treasure Coast, it's time for Fridays at 5, the weekend warm-up that mixes local happenings, entertainment buzz, and just the right dose of laughs. Whether you're stuck in traffic or sliding into the weekend, this is your weekly pit stop for good vibes, great guests, and everything going on in Martin County and beyond. This is Fridays at 5 with Denny Artache.
Good afternoon and happy hour to all those listening. What a great pleasure to be back on STU, Martin County's Heritage Station. I am your host, Denny Artache. We have a great bunch of guests today, personal friends of mine. Yes, I actually do have friends, folks, so that's why I thought this radio thing would help. Starting off with my producer, this guy, Ray Thomas, he's been in radio longer than I've been playing the guitar, which is a long time, folks. Because we're both, we're not exactly youngins anymore.
Yes, we are.
So anyway, hey, good to have you on the show, my friend.
Thank you. Good to be with my friends.
Should I tell them that we were like family back then?
Yes.
Because your sister dated my brother and...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't tell all the secrets.
No, you can.
All right. So let's start off from the end because I'm so happy to have such friends today. On my right, Marla Brodsky. We've done radio together and podcasts. She's a casting director. Tell them some of the shows that you've done for Hollywood, that strange place out west.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, from back in the day, I did Extreme Makeover on ABC. I've done Make Me a Supermodel for Bravo. One of my favorite show was Singing Office on TLC.
Really?
Didn't
you do the Bachelorette or the Golden Bachelor?
Golden Bachelorette.
Yeah, you tried to get me on that. I'm like, no way.
Yeah, we just wrapped casting of the Golden Bachelor. I did Raid the Cage. I do a lot of fun stuff. It's been a career for 28 years now.
You keep me in stitches, girl. You crack me up so much, and you're out there in the community. So I'm going to count on you. And I listen. You're welcome every day that you're available to do this show.
You got it.
To her left, someone else who's known me when I was a teenager. In fact, oh my God, John Garrity. John, we were young and dumb. We're neither of those things anymore.
At least we claim not to be, right?
We claim not to. John and
I'm hanging on to young, though.
John and I graduated from Martin County High School last century, way back last century. Dude, we're pretty old, aren't we? I mean,
I feel fantastic.
I know, right? You look great.
I thank you. And I one of the things that I really lean into is that we have a choice on how we're going to age, right?
Yes.
A big choice.
Yeah.
And what's probably true is we're going to be here for a long time. And the question is, what's
We
that
hope.
experience? Well, yeah, but what's it going to be like? And so I don't lean into feeling old at all. I don't tell that story. I don't think it leads to great places. And so
I love
I'm
this
62,
guy.
but
you look great.
I'm
I would
61.
Never guess that.
But see, that's what you're getting older when they no longer say, hey, you look great. They say, hey, you look good for your age.
I didn't
Thanks
say
a lot.
that.
I know you did.
both look great, and not for your age, but just good.
I love John because John is a successful personal coach. I know you see that and you're like, yeah, everyone's a person. No, John actually walks the walk, talks the talk. He was actually an advisor like me for many years until he got wise and got out of the business. And he helps a lot of people with what he does. He's so cerebral. We always have great conversations. Now, Rick, directly to his left and my right, my partner in Army crime. We're both Army vets. Captain Randy Lundy. And him and I are going to be performing tomorrow at the honor flight in the airport.
Yay.
We do a lot for veterans. Randy, it's great to have you here. I know you had to drive from Palm Beach area where we all live. You got anything to say on a Friday or what?
It's Friday. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Here, Randy,
God.
it's 5 o'clock.
Right
here.
now it's 5 o'clock on the, a little there, but we're here. Yeah, Denny and I sing together. We're
That's
with a group called Officers and Gentlemen. We're military veterans. We have the singing soldier, the singing sergeant. Then we have Gunny John, who is our singing Semper Fi. Then we have Anthony James, the singing seaman. He's our sailor in the group. And we got a lot of different people that come and play. Play guests with us.
And so we perform in different areas for different functions, do a lot for veterans. If you're listening to this show, we want to have fun. We want to be part of the community. Please call into the line here. You should know it. It's 220-WSTU, or for those who are older and challenged, 9788. So you don't have to figure out what WSTU means.
I was literally trying to think quickly in my head, like, oh my God, what is that number?
Please call in. This show is to try and entertain you and get you ready for the weekend. So first and foremost, Randy and I are going to be tomorrow at the Palm Beach Airport performing for the Honor Flight. If you've never been, it's a great experience. We have World War II veterans, Korean, every veteran that flies out to DC. Randy, tell them what they go through. Like, they go out early in the morning, right? And they take them to the cemetery, right? They take them to all the sites in Washington.
Yeah, the day starts right now. They're actually getting ready, set up with the buses. They pick up folks at the Municipal Center in Stewart. There's 2 buses that bring 88 veterans and their guardians. Each veteran has what we call a guardian. A guardian is a personal escort for that veteran throughout the entire day. So the bus probably leaves Stewart around 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
Zero
with old veterans. That's wild.
Can you imagine all of them piling in at that time?
I don't even understand.
I know.
And you had where?
We call it 0 dark 30. Remember that one, Dennis?
That's elder abuse. You know
my God, it really is.
So they load up about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Then they have a police escort, motorcade escort with motorcycles coming down from Stewart. They arrive at PBI Airport at about 5:30 in the morning. Have a big reception there. They get their pictures taken, families there. They go through a little bit of orientation, a lot of wheelchairs.
Yeah,
Denny,
no kidding.
A lot of wheelchairs.
So what happens is they go through this in Washington. They fly out early. Then they come back typically around like 8 o'clock or so, right? And give or take, depending if there's any delays. And then, the airport is full of people cheering them on. We have bagpipes going. There's a parade.
Oh, my gosh.
It's such a great time.
Yeah, there's about 2,000 people that line the concourse typically
to just cheer them on, and we perform and sing. And one of our favorite guys, Carmine Yanata, he's done podcasts, but he didn't want to do radio. He's 100 years old, folks. He still drives himself around.
He's amazing.
Awesome.
He's
so amazing.
sharper than most 40-year-olds, and I know.
Yeah.
He's a great veteran. We love to do it. So a little bit about me, because some of you may or may not know. Randy still thinks I'm a rock star. No, I used to be a rock star, because in the early 90s, I was lead single lead guitar player for Iron Butterfly. I played with 3 Dog Night members. I was best friends with them. I've shared the stage with so many iconic stars, from Steppenwolf. I'm drawing a brain freeze on all the names, but I do have pictures of some of my favorite people. Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen, and that and $6, folks, will get me a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
And he had a great mullet. He had a great mullet.
I still perform for clients. I manage money for a living. Hint, hint. We will be speaking about financial topics, but we want to talk about happy stuff, because there's so much. Isn't there a lot of negativity in the news today? I mean, I can't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just. Will they ever have a happy network? What do you think, Ray? You think they ever will, or?
Yeah, we got to start that. That's what I'm thinking.
No, wait. We got to start that?
Yeah,
There's not one out there?
Because we were talking about, you guys are saying, well, we're not getting old. We're seasoned.
Do you remember when
seasoned
what
is
was
good.
this? Was Jim Krasinski? Is that the guy's name?
Who?
The guy in The Office? Is that his name?
Oh,
Krasinski, isn't that his name?
Why?
Yeah.
Did he have a happy
So anyway,
network?
he did for a while during COVID.
Really?
Yeah, he ran it for like a year. And it was
Is
it
that
wasn't
the
a full
phone line?
network, but it was kind of his show around like podcast, doing a podcast, and it was like Happy News or whatever. I thought he did a great job with it.
yeah. Oh, there's a phone
Oh,
call.
my God. It's a phone
It's a
call.
phone call.
Is it
Phone
FINRA?
call.
Is it a collector? I tried to get McGann to call, but he, of course, didn't answer anything.
He's out of town this weekend.
Is that what
This
it
is
is?
He's got a love trip.
You think there's a question?
I can't believe this.
We got a question.
We
have
have our
a question?
first caller on the Friday at 5 with Denny Artache
You
show.
do. It's Palm City Charlie.
Palm City Charlie. Oh my God, do you remember him?
Yeah. Hey, Palm City Charlie.
How you doing?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Oh man, you sound
good
really
to hear
calm
you.
today.
Good to hear you back on the radio, Denny.
Good to be back. So I got to get you back in this room, right? You know that, right?
Well, you have my phone number. Give me a buzz.
I will. So Palm City Charlie, folks, a longtime listener, also a decorated, proud veteran. Tell him a little bit about you, brother. Come on, tell him. You were part of a serious
I was with
unit.
the Delta Raiders in Vietnam, and I've been invited on the trip to, quote, stay up all night. I can't do that. But my company did visit Arlington, and two of my brothers are Medal of Honor winners. One of them was a pallbearer for Audie Murphy, and buried next to Audie Murphy, that's Joe Hooper. And then my squad leader jumped on a grenade. This is 1968 up in Wake. And he's buried in Arlington as well.
And
Sims, there's a nursing home up at St. Joe.
Oh, really?
He grew up in the woods in a bus. His family was huge and they were poor. So he ended up as a lifer, and he didn't live. He jumped on the grenade. But Joe Hooper lived.
Well, listen,
crazy.
Charlie, thank you for your service. I'll never forget the look on Evan's face when I finally got you into the studio. And so Charlie comes in. Charlie's in good shape. He doesn't have any excess weight. And the first thing he says to Evan is like, boy, you like to eat a little bit, don't you? That's all he was. Listen, good to have you.
He's now on a diet, by the way.
Oh, well, that's good. No,
the doctors put him on a diet.
He knew you for a long time, and it was only me that got you finally into the studio. He got a big kick out of it.
God.
He got a big kick out of it. So listen.
Told me it was you told me a blue building or something?
Yes,
and
I had to go outside to
come
into it.
You had to come outside and flag me down.
Yeah. So listen, I got to run. I'm going to get you in here soon. Thank you so much for calling, Charlie. Really appreciate it. And thanks for being a listener, my brother. Do you have anyone else, Tom? Are there a couple? That's it? Okay. So, yeah. We'll talk to you soon, Charlie. Do we have 1 minute till a break, or Tom, or can we take a break now? Okay.
You can take a break.
We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back on the Friday at 5 with Denny Artache show. Thank you.
He rocked the stage.
So funny.
Now he's rocking your weekend. It's Denny
things I saw.
Artache. Fridays at 5. Your weekend starts now. And we'll be right back.
At Artache Financial Group, we really go out of our way to make our clients feel different. Different because we're fiduciaries that work for you, not any insurance company or fee-based company that's out there. So if it's investing basics, income planning, long-term care, disability, Medicare, Social Security, how to take care of your family, succession planning for businesses, insurance products, we have it all, and we explain it to you simply. And we are fiduciaries. We do work for you, not any other company. So give us a call at the office at 561-537-5897. That's 561-537-5897. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA SIPC. Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, and Artache Financial Group are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC.
Spotlighting Martin County's
We'll have him
events,
next time.
energy, and entertainment. It's Fridays at 5 on 1450 WSTU. Call us at 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU. And now, your host, Denny Artache.
All right, we are back. And just a reminder, all those listeners out there, take advantage of the fact that I am a public speaker. I do perform entertainment locally. I want to know if you have some inspiring, funny stories, call into the show. If you have a club that you'd like to promote or any good cause, please utilize us to do this. And, we want to stay positive and happy, and the guests I have believe in that as well. But before I get going, John, you've been very successful in what you do. What's the biggest challenge that you have when you're trying to take someone on as a new client and change what they're doing?
They have to want to, right? I mean,
yes,
they have to want to. Unfortunately, the people that I get an opportunity to work with are often thriving in a lot of areas in their life, but they're self-aware enough to know, like, there's areas where they'd like to do more.
So in other words, they're already successful.
Yeah,
they're not.
Yeah, I do not do like counseling work. I do. I do optimal performance, right? I work with people and try to help them think about how do they thrive in all the different areas of their life that are important. And first of all, those people have already succeeded in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
But a lot of times there's been an imbalance, right? There's been an imbalance. They've been too heavily focused into one area or the other, and maybe their health is not where it should be, or the relationships aren't where they should be, or they're not. Like, one of the things that I believe is that as we age, there's so many challenges in the world, and we've built a set of skills that we should be using. And sadly, so many people walk off the playing field once they become economically viable, right? But I believe what makes more sense is, especially if you've been able to craft your career in a way that, you've made choices. So think about, what do you love to do? Like, what parts of the work do you really love to do? And how do you just lean into that and stay in that and not walk away?
I mean, what part of your work that you love to do, not just what you love to do? Because
right, but right.
I hate that whole cliche, like, just do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Right. I'm like, well, no, I like eating pizza and chicken wings. I'm not making money off of that.
I mean, you could. Don't give up on that dream. Yeah, you could. Let's be honest.
But if you
I can make money eating pizza and chicken wings.
But obviously, people that love pizza and chicken wings have found ways to create a lot of wealth through pizza and chicken wing restaurants, right? So again, that doesn't mean it's a person.
Maybe I should come up with my new KFC recipe. I don't know.
You could join one of those eating competitions, and you know what I mean, and win the big butt. What's his name? Joey Chestnut eating the hot dogs.
Now, Marla, because you're a casting director, you have to interview so many people, right? You have to decide who's right for the show, who's not right for the show.
Yeah.
And then you are self-claimed to be somewhat of a matchmaker, dare I say?
Oh my God. You know what? I mean, I think that is my real job. Like, I don't even think about TV anymore. I'm like, who needs to be set up? Because I saw a hand raise.
Ray, you want to be set up?
Ray, you want to be set up?
Yeah, why not?
Wait, all right, let's
be
do
careful
this.
what you wish for, man.
What are you looking for? Like, what do you want? Like, are you a type of guy that just wants somebody to have dinner with? Do you want a life companion? Do you want to get married? Do you want, what do you want? Like, I need to know what your objectives are.
Quickly, in 60 seconds.
Be careful. It's a family show. Be careful.
I was thinking of one of those things.
I was thinking
that too, really going after the edge.
Tinder's not the choice here.
See, he's still thinking.
I will say, even if it is it's a family show, but I would want somebody to be honest. Like, if they're just looking for that, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, be honest about it. Be upfront, because then you'll get what you want. Don't go into it.
Here's one issue I find: people think that they want a relationship where they're ready, but they're not ready.
Well,
they're either emotionally unavailable, physically unavailable, or mentally, dare I say, unstable.
Yeah, I mean,
how do I know that a woman is awesome? She doesn't want to date me. That's how I know.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. It is
like
finding.
I tell you, I got no respect.
No. It is like finding the perfect puzzle piece that fits in the puzzle.
You and I have laughed about it.
I
know. But then you get serious. And then Marla gives me that look. I went, oh, crap. I just raised her blood pressure. So, all right. She asked you a question. What are you looking for?
Yeah, all the above.
All of the above.
Wait a minute. That was
you got off easy, dude.
But not necessarily. It all kind of comes into the same thing. If you're looking for a life partner, you're looking for all of those things. I want to go to dinner. I want to connect. Okay. I want to go for walks. I want to. All of that is inside. If you
yes,
really
of course.
He read me.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, you want a real relationship.
Exactly.
And when was the last time you had a real relationship?
19.
No, come on,
Ray. Ray, come on,
Come on,
man.
You never got over your
When
sister.
was your last? When was your right? Exactly. You're still pining over. You dated Denny's sister.
Well, look, I've been happily divorced for 25 years.
Okay, and you
All
never
right,
dated since
But
then.
that,
Yeah, 12 years ago.
You dated 12
you
years
dated
ago.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
And then why did you
like,
stop?
Are you trying to be a priest? What's going on here?
No, I didn't try. It just kind of happened. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Marla's got a great relationship. I love her guy, John. He's so awesome. And
Yeah,
I remember
John's
when they
great.
first met each other,
Right.
he came to the podcast studio, and she's doing great. Randy's got a great relationship. John has a great relationship. John, how long have you been married with your wife? It's been
29.
29
oh my gosh,
years.
29 years. Congratulations.
Yes. And they met when John and I used to partake in the spirits heavily, you know?
Well,
She actually, I started dating my wife
I appreciate the call.
10 months before I got sober.
No, I haven't.
And
You got what now?
sober.
Yeah.
Right. So
How long's it been?
33 years.
wow.
So like we were having a lot of fun. We were in Gainesville, Florida. But I had a real excessive drinking challenge. Right.
Mm.
And so when I would get out and getting in, I would go too far. And so she told me, she's like, you're a lot of fun, but I have no interest in
She said that? Your wife said that to you?
Yeah, well, she just said I have no interest in having that as a part of my future.
Oh,
Like,
I
I'm
see.
not interested in having an alcoholic for a husband,
Right.
and
Talk
and
about
what,
direct communication.
what I came to realize is it wasn't just her. Like what I had to realize is like nobody really worthwhile was going to
Right.
want that.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Right.
That's
So
my
that
whole
was
point.
the real thing.
Yeah.
It
We
wasn't
have
just
to-
for her. It was the reality. I couldn't live and contribute in that way.
Yeah.
For me, I want to be single for a while. I want to continue working on myself. I'm not kidding. That's no BS.
Mhm.
Because if I'm not good within myself, I'm useless to everyone else. Now, Randy also has how long you been, Bobby? Now, they're not married, nor do they live together. So that's the secret sauce right there.
You don't live together. How long you been
Because
together?
they've been together. Yeah, they've been together
Wait,
for years.
How
They're very
long?
happy.
How many years?
How many years you guys been together?
It'll be 11 years in September.
Hold on a
11
second.
years. Yes.
Hold the phone, sir.
Look, she's
Hold
already
the
starting. Look at
phone,
this.
sir.
Hey, they're
You've been together
successful.
11 years and you've never lived together?
Not one day.
See, that's how they make
Really?
it work.
You see, there are more ways to skin a cat. No
Oh my
pun
God.
intended.
So if you'll all listen,
Yes, we're listening.
Please.
the question is, why don't you live together? Why don't you get married? And Bobby always answers this. And she says, I love Randy. I want to continue to love Randy. Therefore, we will not live together.
Oh,
Therefore, we will not get married because I want to continue to love Randy.
oh my gosh.
Now, what am I supposed to say to that?
Exactly.
Can't argue with
Well,
that.
can I ask you a question?
Dude,
This
she's
might be
perfect.
personal.
Are you kidding me?
This may be a little personal, but like, do you at least spend like nights together?
Yes.
Like, in one another's homes, or everyone goes home to their own home every night?
Almost every night,
You're alone or with them?
alone.
Wait.
What?
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me that. I know you have sleepovers. Why you're getting her
Wait,
going,
are you,
dude?
come on.
She's-
Seriously, in
you
11
want her
years?
to believe that you two never like spend the night together.
Remember I said during the podcast, I would neither confirm nor deny anything.
Wait a minute. I don't know what to believe now, and it's really messing with
All right,
my.
So listen,
shoo-shoo
we're going to
here.
have Bobby.
I'm here to
as-
talk about Honor Flight.
We're going to have Bobby as a guest because she has an adult care facility that's outstanding.
Oh,
Won
wonderful.
awards for seniors living there. I tried to get my mom there. I'm still a work in progress. She's done radio. So we'll get her to, she's going to tell you.
She's still a radio host.
Is she still a radio host?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a phenomenal talent.
And so anything else you want to add? This doubting Thomases?
No,
about your-
I'm just going
I'm
to talk
not
about
doubting.
I'm going to talk about Honor Flight.
All right, so but we talked about Honor Flight.
Well,
we told them.
not the whole package. So let me
okay.
let me
so
summarize.
We would like people to donate to the Honor Flight. So the floor recognizes Senator Lundy here. I mean Captain Lundy. Go ahead, Captain.
May I be extended and revise my remarks, please. So Denny asked about the itinerary. So when they get to the PBI, they load up and they depart about 6:30.
Yeah.
And there's a great fire trucks out there, and they get 2 fire trucks with the hoses that make the arch, and the plane goes between the
Wow.
arches of the waterway. They fly into DC and they go to Arlington National for the changing of the guard. It's about 10:30 in the morning. Then Arlington gives them a really nice, cool lunch that they have right there on property. Then they are shuffled over to each of their war memorials, and they spend the afternoon, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and they do all kinds of really cool things there together. They come back on the plane, And there's some things that happen on the plane that I cannot share with you because it's
Hey.
really private, and they don't. The people that are flying tomorrow do not know about this. So I will not.
That's
I will
awesome.
not be
Yeah,
the
it'll
one
a
to
nice
do that.
surprise.
Although I would say several flights ago, President Trump gave every of the 88 veterans a signed letter, and he signed them all personally and put that in their return flight package for them, and that was a really nice gesture. So they land at PBI. A lot of, as Denny and I said earlier, there's a lot of wheelchairs, as you could imagine. Takes people quite a while to get off the plane. However, as all this is going on, there's usually end up probably a couple thousand people, Denny, in the
There's
concourse.
a lot, and for me, the looks on their faces when they are walking there. It's not the runway, but in the main terminal,
the concourse.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable, and they feel like heroes. They are heroes. Some of them do not feel like heroes because they feel that their friends who didn't make it back were the real heroes. And I say, I don't care. You're still a hero to me.
Yeah.
And the Vietnam veterans never received a good welcome home.
They never did.
And the great majority of people on honor flights now are Vietnam veterans. And so to come back, Bobby was a guardian for Larry Savarese, a Marine captain, not as good as an Army captain, of course, but he was a Marine captain. But Larry was on the flight, and he told Bobby, he said, there's a lot of things that he kept inside that he was hurting from. But to come back and be welcomed back by us singing.
Yeah.
Elvis is there, America's
There's
favorite
a guy
veteran.
who dresses up like Elvis. It's really, if you're listening, folks, you want to come tomorrow.
Yes.
Trust me, you will enjoy it. I mean, we have a lot of fun with people. We do a lot of different music.
Yes, we do.
Why don't you tell people how to go?
I didn't hear the time. Yeah.
Well, just
how do you go?
It's
What's
for
the
free.
logistics?
It's right there in the Palm Beach
The time
airport.
of it?
I would say be there.
I would say get there like 6 o'clock, 6:30. The plane
Okay.
lands at 7:20.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, so you want to get there for parking purposes.
To stand
get
in
a
there.
spot.
That's cool, guys.
And so,
Wow.
we say PBI, Palm Beach International Airport, tomorrow night, Saturday. That's 31 May. Arrive by 6 o'clock. And
Palm City Charlie, you should come, dude. I mean, you should be there.
And anybody, veterans, non-veterans, there's Boy Scouts, there's Girl Scouts, there's Cub Scouts. Gordon Partners is a big financial sponsor of the program, and they also sponsor our singing group, as Denny knows. And so there's a lot of things going on for this homecoming.
That's so
if
exciting.
people, there's got to be a website if they want to donate money, right? Because if you want to sponsor a veteran, this is all done on donations. Randy and I, we never accept a dime for performing. And there's a tip bucket there.
Tip bucket, yeah.
Yeah, we collect, to sponsor a veteran out there. So where could they go? Is there a website?
Yes, you want to go to Southeast Florida, and let me just give you the acronym: Southeast FL, HF Southeast. Shoot, I'm trying to get this right.
Is it SE or South?
It's an Honor Flight SEFL. That's
Okay,
thank you, John.
yeah.
So it's Honor Flight. Let me see. Honor Flight. I just said it. SEFL. I'm sorry. HonorFlightSEFL.com. Go on Facebook. There's a spot there. Or you can just Google Southeast Florida Honor Flight and you'll get to the website. You can donate there. We just do so much. There's 4 flights a year. This is 2 in the spring, 2 in the fall. And there'll be the next one.
October, I think, is the next
It'll
one.
be
right?
the 20 September.
Oh, it is September.
And then the 1st of November. So there's 4 a year, 2 spring, 2 in the fall. And just come and see us at the airport. The best thing to do is it's a great experience. You'll never have an experience like this, right, Denny?
I love it every time. I get so much. Carmine usually he never misses
Well,
it.
Carmine is our sentry. He's our guard. He's
100 years old.
He's 100 years old. He's right on the side of our stage. And Carmine does not allow anything to go haywire. And Carmine served with General Patton.
Yeah, he was
with Patton's
crazy.
Third Army.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, thank you both for your service. And I know that you performed quite a bit doing this. I always hear about you doing this.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys ever gone on the actual flight? Have either of you gone on the flight? Either
I
the Guardian or
wanted
as a
to.
veteran?
You haven't either, right,
No,
Randy?
neither one of us
Neither
have.
one.
No.
I'd like to, but man, I don't know about that 3:30 in the morning cattle call.
That
You
is
know,
rough.
that's like
That is rough.
I'll meet you at the airport around 5:30 or around
Well, you could probably do that if you're not using the bus, right? Isn't that possible? Can't people?
I would
drive
like to
themselves?
go once.
There are
Yeah.
some
I asked
that-
Carmine,
yes.
but Carmine, he really is emotionally. It's too much for him anymore to go back there and see because
Yeah.
his friends are there who passed away in World War II. His first day, a bomb went off and he was unconscious for 3 days, and he woke up and both of his friends were dead.
Right,
So sad.
And that's how he was welcomed into Europe. And so, yes, if you get a chance, they all love it. We love it. You'll have a great time. And remember that it is Happy Hour Friday. So try and make the best weekend. As we progress the show, we'll find out more about happenings. I still perform locally. Randy still performs locally. John, tell them about your thing next Thursday if they want to come to Juno Beach, man.
If there's anyone that really likes to dance,
That's Marla.
okay. So
That's
I
Marla.
love to dance, and I find there's just not a lot of places to do it, right? And
Yeah.
I'm going to be in bed by the time most of the places are picking up.
Right.
So I've been to a silent disco on the beach, and I was like, this is awesome. But I wanted to find a way to have it closer to my home, and
Yeah.
also I couldn't get my friends to go. It was too far away. And so I'm just inviting a bunch of friends. And really, if you like to dance, period, that's all it is. We're basically going to show up. I'm going to talk a little bit about the science of flow, which is this state that you can get yourself into where peak performance and you feel really awesome. And there's lots of ways in. But for me, one of the ways in is dance. So I'm going to talk briefly about that.
Are you still working out? This guy works out every day. What is it? You have like a 15-minute routine, don't you?
I do. I have a routine I created called Fitness Presence that I believe is the most effective exercise program
Well,
in the
look
world.
at him.
Nice. 15 minutes.
Great shape.
15
Yeah.
minutes a day.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
never miss. I haven't missed a day in more than 8 years.
A lot
Oh
of
my
it is
gosh.
stretching. I look at what he does. I go, John, NFW. Okay, no, are you kidding me?
But here's the thing. Here's what I try to
We
communicate.
hate stretching.
Dude, this guy's limber.
So here's what I try to communicate, right? Because I really do want people to age powerfully, brilliant.
I know you
joyfully.
do.
That's my thing.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of people will often say, like, wow, you are in really great shape, or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
Mostly around functionality. I'm more physically functional than I've ever been in my life, and I'm 62. So what I know about exercise, I worked for the guy that started high intensity exercise when I was 20, right? Arthur Jones, the guy that created Nautilus.
Oh, yeah.
So the two things I learned: one, principle-based exercise, and also like how muscles really move. Because Nautilus was the
Did I
first-
warn you people that John is pretty cerebral?
anyway, but I'm very physical, right? This is a very
Yes,
physical thing.
but the whole point also is do something.
Do
Don't just
something.
sit in the couch and do
something. But
nothing.
here's the point: work at the edge of your capacity. That's the only thing. That
And that's
matters.
where you came up with the
That's-
15-minute
The
idea.
thing, all you're doing is if you think about all the different ways you want to challenge your body, right, and your mind, and do it all at the same time, right at the edge of your capacity, it does not take long to get a really great workout.
You see that, Randy? We're wasting an hour and a half at the gym, man. This guy's like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
He's
look
like
what
a
you could be
surfer.
doing. Like an hour, you could now make an hour and 15 minutes extra just by doing his 15-minute workout. It's amazing. Who knew?
It's super effective.
Sure.
And like, I mean, we were both good athletes in high school, right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't like a standout. But as a 62-year-old, I don't mean to say this, but I'm a fucking
We both
I'm a standout.
we both had long hair.
Beep, beep.
We both had long hair. We were into rock and roll. That's what we looked like in high school.
Yeah.
You still have long hair. You still look. I'm the rocker, but I look
Right.
more like a linebacker,
Yeah.
right? If someone owes you money, call Artache. He'll get your payment for
Right.
you, right?
But anyway, yeah. So
He
the
does
big-
work in financials, doesn't he?
We'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
the big-
One way or the other.
The big point that I think makes a difference, and this is true with the dance thing I want to promote on next Thursday,
Yeah.
and just exercise in general. I have an app called Fitness Presence, but it's if you think about like why exercise works, really think about like why does it work? What makes our bodies adapt? And then you just intentionally do that. One, you can make it really short, and for me, very fun because again, you're very much in flow.
Oh, great! My
I'm like, what is
my
playing?
dancing ringtone is going off. Well, John, you have the technical thing. Let me tell you why I exercise,
Okay.
right? And people say, "Oh man, you're bad." I'm not trying to be big. I just want to be strong and stop injury. But for me, when I do not exercise, I'm not in a good mood. It affects how I'm going to be for the rest of the day. I do it first thing in the morning. This week is the best week I've had in weeks because I had family in town and all kinds of excuses. And I didn't hit the gym, but I hit every day this week. I feel better. It does a lot for your self-esteem. That's the other thing. Besides the obvious physical, you feel better because you did something to better yourself.
And it's a good stress reliever too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that my point earlier about dating, don't date unless you have your house in order. Like, you do exercise, you do eat well. You don't want to drink until the cows come home. Or you don't want to go out and party till 2 a.m.
One other
that
point.
doesn't include you, Randy. You're
Well,
fine.
one of
Don't
the songs
change
that
anything.
Sammy Davis sings is "I've Got to Be Me," and there's a line in there. He says, "I can't be right for nobody else if I ain't right for me."
Correct.
Yeah.
So a lot for me, exercise, I did it because I knew it would help my self-esteem. I would physically feel better. I would sleep better. And I'm not going to want to drink late if I want to be at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
It doesn't get more basic than that, folks. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
So do something.
Right.
I don't care if you just decide to, I'm going to walk 15 minutes one way and then come back and walk back 15 minutes. You've just done something instead of sitting in the couch watching that god-awful news channel that keeps promoting negativity after negativity after negativity. So I had some ideas that I wanted to share with you all. We all like Jimmy Buffett, right? I mean, can we all say he was a great artist? He was very
100%.
successful. He had a couple of, he called it some solid advice from an old man. So there's 23 things, but we may not get to all of them, but I wanted to ask all of you what you thought about each one. So the first one he writes is, live beneath your means. I can't tell you, as an advisor, when I meet a couple and their debt load is crazy, or people want to spend, I bought my Chevy for cash. And I'm going to drive until it blows up, and I'm going to buy my next Chevy until it blows up. Marla,
Yes.
give the female perspective. You believe in living beneath your means?
I do. And I know that you probably think that's crazy because as
It's
a girl,
not.
I
It's
like
not
designer
crazy.
things. I like nice things, whatever the case is. But I would not go and get anything that I could not afford and pay for that day. I do not believe in credit card debt. I do not believe in any of that stuff. So if I can't afford it, I'm not getting it. I always believe in waiting for a rainy day. You
Yes.
never know when you are going to have to save that money and you're going to need it for something that's unexpected, an emergency. Somebody else may need it. You have to give it to, whatever the case is. You should never. And by the way, I don't want to say I'm different than all my friends because I have
You
friends
are
that
different
do.
than most
Well,
of your
listen,
friends.
a lot of my friends do feel the same way I feel, but I also
But
know
do they
the flip
practice
side.
it?
Listen,
See,
I
it's
know
one
plenty
thing
of the flip
knowing
side.
what to do. It's another thing.
Yes.
Discipline to me is doing what you know has to be done, even though you're not in the mood to do it.
Yeah.
So, John, what do you think? Living beneath your means, huh?
Obviously, it's imperative. And
No, a
and
lot
the
of
big
people
thing,
say-
financially,
Yes.
if you are not, you create stress in your life. I mean, I
Exactly.
always look at what are you trying to experience? What's the life experience you want? And if your economic
You
situation,
mean living paycheck to paycheck is not sexy and
it-
exciting?
it causes stress. And the other thing that really helps me is I don't really care that much about a lot of things that other
Yeah.
people do materialistically.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
it's easy for me. And I have a hard time I treat myself fine. I treat myself well, but sometimes you look at the prestige things that people buy and you're like, okay, that costs you 4X.
Yeah.
That's something that is almost indistinguishable.
Oh, boy.
Mhm.
What is the value that you actually gain by spending that money? And so much of our economy is
Marla,
driven.
is that asking for something to press okay?
So anyway, so much of our economy is driven by that spending,
The
right?
live broadcast has ended. Or maybe it was too long.
Oh,
Okay.
could be. We'll start
Start
another one.
Right? Does that make sense?
It does make sense because they're putting too much value on something that can come and go. Randy, I know you believe in living beneath your means, right?
Well, what I'm looking at now is you've got yellow mic covers, and then the two guys have the what do we call this? Magenta, fuchsia, magenta
Oh my
mic covers.
Yes.
I just realized that I'm listening to everybody talk here. So what's funny is Bobby shops at this consignment store in Stewart. She lives in Stewart, and she prides herself in getting. A lot of these people bring stuff to the consignment store, and they still have the tags on from Palm Beach, and she'll get something for $8, $12, and it looks. She's a model, so she looks. She can wear a burlap sack, and she looks great. And she won't spend more than $20 for a pair of shoes. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
But nobody asked, girl, what did you pay for that? They're like,
No.
girl, where'd you get that? It looks
Right.
awesome. And
Yes.
she'll say that. All right. So number 2 on this list, return everything you borrow. That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
You take something, give it back to
Courtesy.
someone. Don't say, hey, man, have you got something I could borrow? Yeah, you got my thing that you borrowed like 2 years ago. Number 3, stop blaming other people. So empowering. I mean, when you stop blaming other people for where you are in your life, you have just empowered yourself.
Oh, but it's so much fun.
No, it's not. John, when you're coaching people, you said they're already successful. So I highly doubt that many people in that position blame other people for their failures.
I think when we look at people, we all have areas where we thrive and other areas where we may make excuses.
Yes.
Right. And so one of the great things is accepting responsibility. And if you break down responsibility, it means the ability to respond, right? So whatever the situation is, you still have the ability to respond. And so
and how we respond is really important, folks.
Right. So rather than blame and complain, just look at the reality of where you are. And again, it goes just back to the same thing as exercise.
Yeah.
Where you are, start where you are, and then incrementally improve. Right. And so whatever is real, to fight against what's real doesn't make any sense. So embrace what's real, lean in.
Yeah, the problem is many people have different perceptions of reality, and that's all I'm going to say on this broadcast right now.
No, this is a quote from this is a Jimmy Buffett question.
These are all Jimmy Buffett things.
Well, you know what? If you think about
advice.
If you think about Margaritaville song in the chorus, some people say there's a woman to blame.
Yes.
But I know.
Yeah. It's my own damn
It's my
fault.
own damn fault. So there you go. There you go. There you go.
So
he told us a long time ago.
Exactly.
Long time ago,
and he was making money and drinking, tequila. So the number 4, admit when you make a mistake. I love making mistakes. I love being wrong because I laugh at how I screw things up. Wow. Guess I won't be doing that anymore. Number 5, I talked about before we went on the air. This is a tough one. Jimmy says, give old clothes to charity. I've got so much crap in my closet. Randy, you said you kind of go through your clothing every 2 months and you give it away?
Every 2 months. I get there's a Vietnam veterans pickup truck, and they come by and they drop off a little yellow bag at my doorstep, and I got it and I go through it. Sometimes a lot, sometimes a little bit. Every time they pick up a bag, they leave another one. And so I'm just working through getting rid of stuff that 80% of what's in my closet, I do not wear.
Oh, man. God, you're going to heaven. What about you, John? You get rid of old clothes?
I do. I got a lot of influence from my wife. My wife is a very
she looks at
tidy person. Right?
Okay.
I'm like, she's much more detail oriented. I'm big picture. And so as it relates to household, she likes order, and so.
All right, Marla, the female, which, they.
Listen, we all know, I think if people know who I am, we all know the closets that I have. And
yes.
It's like in abundance.
How many pairs of shoes do you have?
Oh my God. I don't know. Hundreds. I don't even know. 1,000. I don't even know. But I have a whole closet. I have a whole closet room, a bedroom full of shoes. Like
just for shoes.
Just for shoes. But listen, I will say this. I just sold one of my homes. And
the one in LA?
The one in LA.
Oh my God, she got
yes. I just sold it a month ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do we have a clapping
Thank
sound?
You. I
We
know.
gotta get
Thank
that
you.
for all
Out
of
of
us.
LA.
We do. Oh my goodness.
But I still have another home for sale here. I have 2 houses here and I need to sell one. So if somebody needs to buy something in Stewart, let me know. I need to sell one of my places.
That could be a show within itself.
I know.
But so
back to yes.
LA. Do you get rid of your clothes?
So yes, I had because I always have a room that is converted into a walk-in closet. And this room was full. And I called a church to come and pick up everything. Literally, it all went. They had to come back and forth so many times. They took shoes, jackets, coats, things that.
So, folks, the only person in this room lacking cognitive brilliance on the subject is Artache. I got to clean out my closet and my shoes, so I'm going to do that. Now, I know we have to go for a break in 2 minutes or 1 minute? Because I like the number 6. You put do something nice and try to not get caught doing it.
That's
pretty
nice.
cool,
it's like the anonymous nice person.
Kinda, because if you do that, you're doing it for the right reason. Yeah. You're not doing it so someone can recognize, hey, you know who I am and how many people I help.
That's like the pay it forward thing. Like when you're at Starbucks and you pay for the person behind you, or or McDonald's, wherever you go.
I think my producer's reminding me that we're gonna have another break because I have to do that commercial that I do manage money for a living, folks. But if you have someone who owes you money, I might be able to help you with that too. We'll be back in a minute.
I collect on the side.
Exactly.
Why not?
We're taking a break. He rocked the stage. Now he's rocking your weekend. It's Denny Artache. Fridays at 5. Your weekend starts now. And we'll be right back.
At Artache Financial Group, we really go out of our way to make our clients feel different. Different because we're fiduciaries that work for you, not any insurance company or fee-based company that's out there. So if it's investing basics, income planning, long-term care, disability, Medicare, Social Security, how to take care of your family, succession planning for businesses, insurance products, we have it all, and we explain it to you simply. And we are fiduciaries. We do work for you, not any other company. So give us a call at the office at 561-537-5897. That's 561-537-5897. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA SIPC, Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, and Artache Financial Group are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC.
Get your weekend started right. It's Fridays at 5. Local fun, fresh laughs, and feel-good vibes right here on 1450 WSTU. Here's your host, Denny Artache.
We are back. Listen, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world. I really love and care for everybody in the room here. And we only have like 9 minutes left.
That went by
Can we
fast.
go longer and they can just send me a bill? Or no, I guess we can't. All right, we'll have to tune in next week because I have 23 of these, but I will say another one. Now, this is number 7, which is kind of ironic because we're in radio, but he said, listen more and talk less.
Everybody be quiet.
No, think about this. Until I consciously thought about this, I would talk too much. I would be listening to wait. I'm going to listen, so it's my turn to talk instead of like, well, no, let me listen. Let me not interrupt them so that I can understand what they're telling me, and then maybe I can talk. So, Marla, have you found this kind of difficult like I have in the past?
Listen, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Because my immediate go-to when somebody says something that either jars me or makes me think of something, I want to get it out.
You want to react.
I want to react. And because the hamsters in my head don't wait. You know what I mean? So like they're going, the gerbils are running. And it's like, if I don't get it out and I don't say what I'm thinking, it's gone. So it's like, can I talk? No, you can't.
No,
because
you can't.
I have to, and so I feel bad about that. So I'm sorry to everybody who's affected by that.
This is what I'm saying. It does take work. But when you start doing it, John, can you share on the topic?
Yeah, one of my favorite books ever is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
Yes,
and
great book.
Habit is seek first to understand and then to be understood. And I find for myself, if I can get curious and not think I really understand yet, then there's no way for me to really respond because I'm not really ready. Right? I don't know you.
I don't know you.
Right? So
we are not the same. I thought we were. I thought we were friends.
Oh my God.
So if I find for myself, if I can stay curious, right? Even if somebody sees the world completely differently.
What if they like speak really slow and can't get to the
I'm
point?
Probably not engaged with that person.
All right.
Right. I'm engaged mostly with people that are going to be.
All right. On to Lundy, Captain. Have you struggled with this?
Absolutely. I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, 2-sport athlete in college, captain of the teams.
Are you going to tell us what sports?
Officer.
What sports?
We'll be here until next.
Yeah. The bottom line is I was always in a position of leadership, and so leaders. My concept of leadership was to give direction and to I believe in servant leadership. But I learned a lesson about this. My first job out of the military is with a pharmaceutical company called Marion Laboratories. Best company ever job I ever had in the civilian world. And went to sales training. And the sales trainer looked at us and he said, "Are you guys really listening, or are you just waiting to speak?"
Right. That's my whole point.
And I'm like,
yes.
Whoa, I was waiting to speak. I wasn't listening. So, and the Bible even says, the Bible talks about it. Be ye a good listener and refrain from speaking.
One thing that helped me is I would ask questions to make sure that I actually heard what they said and I understand.
Smart.
But that can backfire because people don't like when you pay attention. Then they watch what they say around you. Oh, crap. If I say this to Denny, he's going to remind me what I said. But I still think it's a great way to be. Now, we're not going to get to a lot of these. We talked about number 8. Every day, take a 30-minute walk or do exercise. Here's one that I have to laugh at you, Mr. Lundy, my brother. Strive for excellence, not perfection. You want to comment on that, my OCD brother?
I think Denny said
You're doing
it all.
so much better now. Oh, my God. Randy, are you still trying to strive for perfection in everything you do?
When you are the child of an alcoholic,
Yeah.
I grew up in dysfunction. So
I did,
uh,
as John
so-
did. Marla, I don't know if you did.
I was functioning. Yeah, no, I was good. But I had a really good, I
Well,
have to
good
say,
for
good
you.
household. I was raised really
That's awesome.
two
Well,
amazing parents. No issues.
the issue in an alcoholic household is that you're always managing dysfunction.
Mm.
And if there was peace, I was very, very uncomfortable. And so I learned over the years that instead of trying to fix someone's problems now, let's do a 180. Let's do the reverse. And I had to learn a lot about the psychology of being independent of an alcoholic, and that helped a lot.
Mm.
These are things that we all need work on, including myself. And that's why I said early in the program that I am working on myself. I don't think I'm really, really ready to get serious with someone until I work a few more things out.
Oh, but you're so cute, Denny. Come
Oh,
on,
yeah,
and
sure I am.
talented.
Now,
I'm
can I ask you
so,
a question though? Going back to this whole dating thing,
Yeah.
like not every time that you go out with somebody, do you have to think, am I going to marry this person? Is this going to be my
No,
person?
I never think that
You
way.
know what I mean?
Listen, I'm just like, hey, let's just have a good time and not
Right.
be
You
too-
can still do that.
But even
without-
that is very challenging. I'm
Is it?
telling you. Yes.
You really?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what's the challenge? So when you say it's very challenging, what is?
Well,
how
a
would you
lot of
define
them they start like spewing out like I'm their therapist or something. They just
Oh, well, then
they
that's
tell
not
me
the right.
everything.
That's not the right person.
Well, you
for
asked
though.
me. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah, you're right.
You may say, so how you feeling? Well, today I got up and I just couldn't flush that toilet the right way. And then I thought about my brother. And don't get me started about my mother. And you're like, ooh, look at the time.
Exactly. And I got to go walk the dog.
I
Thanks.
think I have a colonoscopy that I have to go to in 10 minutes. And
But there are fantastic people that would have great conversations.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you know
I
what?
think
Thank
that
you, John, because you have a great point in several of your programs. Whatever you expect out of life
Right.
is up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course I'm working on that.
Right.
But I have to work on myself first, because am I available? See, let me think about it. Between my financial business, playing with my bands, the stuff I do with Randy, and now I'm doing radio along with my podcast.
And your mom and helping
And my mom, I'm
Yeah.
taking care. My mom is no joke, a full-time job now because she's, cognitively challenged as she's 85 years old. And that's why I want to have Bobby on the show as well. And John, you went through it with your mom for many years.
Yeah. Some
And-
of you may. My mom was a teacher in this county, so
Yeah.
So she taught at Murray Middle School way back in the day.
My mom was at Murray Middle School
Really?
as a substitute.
My
That's
mom
so
was at
fun.
Murray, and then she was at Stewart Middle School. But yeah, she unfortunately had some different challenges early on in her life, and the relationship with my father was really, not very good. And so, whether it was genetic or whatever it was, she ended up over time having a lot of challenges with dementia and Alzheimer's. And
We only have a
stuff.
couple more minutes, 2 minutes. One other thing that I like to say out of the list that he has, take time to be alone. I can't tell you how many people cannot stand to be quiet in a corner with nothing to do. It drives them. I live for those moments. When people say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Nothing. And I'm going to love every minute of it. You got to unwind. There's too much stimulus out there. You got to meditate, breathe correctly, have good posture, tune it down. Don't think and do anything for a while, and be comfortable with being alone. Don't think that you always have to have somebody with you, unless you really don't like yourself, which is another subject that, we all need to like ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We all need to do things that help our self-esteem, because as I said earlier, if we don't like ourselves, we're going to be useless to a lot of other people out there. And the way you like yourself is doing things to help your esteem, like exercising, eating right, thinking better thoughts, not accepting things that are not conducive to a good life. So that's it. I want to end it on that note. I want to thank all my esteemed guests. You are all welcome to come back anytime. Maybe we can solve the world's issues right here at STU. And Ray Thomas, we're going to get you a girl, boy. Don't you worry about it.
Next week.
You're
By
going
the
to be
way, John
fine.
says hi. He just texted. He loves the show. He says hello, and he says 500 pairs.
So there you go. Marla has 500 pairs of shoes, folks. As reiterated by John, her soon-to-be
Who knows?
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
That's a wrap on another ride through the heart of the Treasure Coast. You've been tuned into Fridays at 5, from finance to local talk and everything in between. We hope you're heading into the weekend just a little bit wiser and a whole lot more entertained. Big thanks to you for making this the best hour of the week. We'll see you next Friday right here on Martin County's Heritage Station, 1450 WSTU. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay tuned. WSTU Stewart.